So, you know, you know, after Tom came and talked to me the first time, you know, I said, you know, just show me more, and it's there for the taking, you know, and ultimately it was there, it was there for the taking, and you know, a year later, which was just about 3-4 weeks ago, you know, I thought something was wrong, so I asked him. I said, you know, what's going on, man? And you know, he said he wanted part of the company, and at that time, you know, I couldn't do it, and I still can't. You know, it's something that for me, you know, this is what I do. It's what I do. It's what I'm passionate about, and you know, the personal feeling I got about and the professional feeling I got from Tom was that it wasn't the same feeling, and I need somebody to help ScrewAttack grow in that manner. So, you know, after we talked the second time a year later, and he you know, obviously wasn't real about that answer because he felt that he was deserving of it. He became distant and you know, didn't answer phone calls or IMs, or you know, didn't come into the office, you know, and you know, and that's very frustrating. And you know, we'd have words, and you know, even though we're best friends, you know, it's tough when you work together. And people always say, you know, don't mix business with pleasure, or don't be, you know, with personal. And you know, I always said, you know, who cares? You know, if it gets done, it gets done, and that's the ultimate thing. You know, if things get done, then everything's all right. And you know, things weren't getting done. Anyway, so we finally talked again, and after, you know, I told him, you know, to get his stuff squared away, and you know, come see me. And you know, take the weekend, take a few days, get your stuff organized. We'll see you Monday. And that Monday when he came in, you know, I was expecting to see, you know, a full list, a laundry list of things he had to say to me about, you know, the way things are going. And he came in with no paper, no computer, no nothing. And essentially, we sat down and talked. And he said, you know, listen. You know, I have this list of things, but it doesn't really matter. You know, I'm going to give you 2 options, and you know, this is what you got, pretty much, essentially. You know, you asked me what I want, so here they are. And he gave me 2 options, and one was, you know, a part of the company, and the other one was a substantial raise. And as a small company, we couldn't afford to do it, and you know, so we. You know, just as a growing company, it's very hard, and you can't afford that type of thing in the situation that we're at. So it took a few days, and you know, we talked again, and you know, from there, I just said, you know, listen, man, you know, I love you like a brother, you know, but given the 2 options, you know, that you gave me, I can't do either. And you know, we stood there and we looked at each other, and you know, I thanked him for everything that he's done for ScrewAttack, and you know, I let him know. I said, I think I've done a very good job of separating personal and business, and you know, hopefully you have too. And we, you know, we both just kind of looked, and he said, yeah, you know, and you know, I said, I think it would be cool. You know, at that point, we both just kind of knew. You know, it was. You know, time to say bye. And you know, I said, you know, it'd be really great if we made a video just to give you a proper send-off about, you know, to the community about this. I think that'd be the proper way to do that. It could being that's what we do. And you know, he said, yeah, okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me, you know, I got to take care of some stuff, and let me give you a call back, and you know, we'll do that later. And I said, all right. And since then, I'm still waiting on the phone call. I've called him several times, and haven't received a call back. And you know, as far as I was concerned, when we left that day, everything was fine. You know, I still think, real highly of TJ, as a friend, and I want to keep it that way. But, I don't know if he's not calling me just because or whatever, but ultimately it's not happening. Now, I did tell him, he's always welcome to return, and, it's true. He's part of the family, and he'll always be part of the family. So is it open for him to return? Yeah, absolutely. Is it likely to happen? Probably not. Just based off of, just based off stuff, and it was one of those things where I think we both knew it was coming. We both have distinct personalities. I like to think of myself as fairly motivated and get up and go and ready to get moving. I mean, you can hear it. You can hear it in side scrollers. You can hear it. I always got something to say, whereas Tom's very laid back, and that's just kind of his personality. Handsome Tom is Tom ultimately. There's not a whole lot of difference between Handsome Tom and Tom. So I guess essentially that's pretty much what led to Tom not being a part of ScrewAttack. There's only two people who ultimately know the entire situation. Two people and two people only. That's me and Tom. And, as far as, Tom feeling burned about, not having his name registered on the business, I can understand that. But at the same time, he's got to understand from a business standpoint why the decision was made. And, in terms of people saying I need to apologize about Tom being gone or whatever, no, I don't. I don't need to apologize about anything. If anything, there needs to be an apology from other people for the things they said. And, people saying ScrewAttack's going to die, ScrewAttack's dead, ScrewAttack's a slow decline. No, not at all. The core is still here, absolutely. The shows we have coming up, they're going to freaking rock your face off. And this is great because it's going to allow the interns like Jose, like Mickey, like Ben, like Nick, like everyone else who's going to be coming in this summer that you don't even know about. They're going to have the perfect time to shine. And this is going to breathe new life into ScrewAttack and really help us accelerate, what we're doing. And am I looking for a replacement for Tom? No, because but I am hiring, absolutely. ScrewAttack is hiring right now, but we're not looking for a replacement. People are like, well, it's never going to be the same again. Well, you're right. It's not going to be the same again. It's going to grow. It's going to change, but we're still going to keep what ScrewAttack's all about. ScrewAttack's bigger than Tom. It's bigger than Craig. It's bigger than Jose. It's bigger than anybody. It's how you present things. It's a state of mind, and most importantly, it's about the community. And that's the most important thing people have to remember about this whole thing, is that it's way bigger than any one of us. And you got to keep that in mind during this whole thing. So